Welcome. Today in this video, I'm going to be breaking down the reasons why credit stacking will not work and tell you what you can do in your business if you're trying to get access to more capital so that you can continue to scale this year. So credit stacking is the process of submitting multiple credit card applications in a specific order with multiple banks in order to access large amounts of unsecured credits. So here's a quick example for you. Let's say you apply at a bank A for two credit cards. You apply for bank B for two credit cards, and then you apply to bank C for two credit cards, for a total of six credit cards. Now, taking that a step further, let's say that each credit card that you get approved for is $15,000. So that's 30K at bank A, 30K at bank B, and 30K at bank C. We are now upwards of right around $90,000 in unsecured capital. But wait, it gets better. If you've done this process correctly, and if you have staggered all of the hard inquiries, what a hard inquiry, that just means that you give a creditor authorization for them to be able to look at your personal credit profile, which in this case, since you are personally guaranteeing it, that's the method you're going to be doing. So when that hard inquiry hits, again, if you've done it right, you're going to have one hard inquiry for TransUnion, one hard inquiry for Experian, and one hard inquiry for Equifax, which means you have a hard inquiry, just one per each credit bureau. That's the ideal way that most people envision it in their minds. Sounds simple, but that's not what ends up happening in most instances. The first thing I see entrepreneurs do all the time is they're applying for the right stuff, but in the wrong order. Let me give you an example. You want to invest in more equipment and in advertising, so you are trying to get access to $120,000 worth of working capital. And you want to stay in your comfort zone and you're trying to apply for business lines of credit at your local credit union. The issue that you had is that it was the right product, but it was in the wrong order, meaning you hadn't had enough business just yet, or business credit built up just yet in your business to justify getting that business line of credit. So we recommend that, hey, get access to at least three revolving business credit cards. And then once you have used those for at least 90 to about 120 days, and this can vary by business and how much capital you're looking to get. But then go back into the credit union and apply for that business line of credit. After doing that, you will be in the right position to get approved for that line of credit. Again, it is the right thing, but at the wrong time. Second reason that I see why credit stacking fails is the business owner has a thin vibe. So you can have a business generating $1 million. If you've been in business for 5 years, you have an H Corp, you have an H LLC, which means it's over 2 years old. You can apply for flat out just something as simple as a business credit card, not even a line of credit, where they're most likely going to ask you for financials. You apply for something as simple as a business credit card, and all of a sudden, you get denied. No, you're probably thinking, wait a minute, my business is set up right. I'm generating a net positive revenue. What's happening is the bank is looking at how the business owner has managed their own finances up to this point. So if you're in that place where you constantly submit an application, you may want to take a look at your personal credit score because your personal credit score is going to be the best gauge, especially when starting out, that a business is going to have on how they're going to mitigate the risk. Meaning, are you someone that's going to possibly default in the future, even if you're trying to secure the debt through your own business? Which is why you, as the business owner, want to work on properly structuring out your personal credit profile. Don't take a look at your credit cards, don't take a look at your banking app, Credit Karma, take a look at your FICO 8 score because that's the exact model that banks are going to look at. So I will give you a quick rundown. You want to have less than three hard inquiries for each of the credit bureaus over the last 60 to 90 days. You want to have at least five accounts, again, on the personal side, with at least four of those accounts being revolving accounts, actual credit cards from a bank, not store cards. At least one of those accounts, I would say, especially if you're really trying to take it to the next level, at least one to two of those accounts, you want them to be installment loans. This can be a mortgage, this can be an auto loan, you can even get away with a personal loan as well. Then, you want the total utilization that you have had up to this point to be less than 20%. The same time last year, I would have said 30%. But banks, since they have been tightening up, so I'm going to say less than 20%. The closer you can get it to zero, the better. And lastly, you don't want to have any late payments in the last 24 months. Now, if that sounds like it's a lot of work, well, guess what? Running a business is a lot of work. And so this is one of those things that you have to take care of so that you can enjoy the benefits of it later. So get your credit taken care of, and you're going to see how many doors are going to open up for you on the back end as you start submitting these applications. Hey, don't quit the video. I just want to take 30 seconds to let you know that if you have a business and at least 700 credit score, I can help you to get access to $50,000 or more in 0% business credit. You can use this credit to invest in marketing, to acquire more clients, to grow your team, or to get more equipment. So if you want more information, just click the link in the description. I go more in depth on how I can help you to get funded, and we could discuss more about your needs and your goals. So click the link in the description and let's continue the video. The third mistake that we see is trying to fund a business that's improperly set up. So I will define for you an improper setup. If you have an LLC and you have no idea what the EIN is, that's an improper setup because you need the EIN in order for you to actually apply for these business trade lines. If you have a business and let's say you are marking it down like it's in the e-commerce space, but you're in the trucking industry, that's improperly classified. That's also going to get you flagged, especially with how banks have been starting to underwrite since this new year and the new systems that they are using. And so your business and the way that it's set up has to tell a story. This means that you are classified in the right business, you have the right subcategory, and you have the right trade in English. This means that if I am in business management, I do consulting. And let's say I do business consulting for business owners and entrepreneurs who are looking to scale their business with funding, which is ultimately what we do. I'm able to properly encapsulate that on a business credit application. Now, there's two times that you want to do this. You want to be able to do that on a business credit application and when you are speaking to a business banker. There's nothing that's going to turn off the bank more or make them wary of you when they ask you, okay, so what do you do for a living? Or what is your business involved in? Or how does your business generate revenue? And you are, and you're kind of at a loss of words. So do yourself a favor. Before you even walk into a bank and before you try to credit stack your way into a multiple six-figure round and you start inching that up into a seven-figure round, you want to be very careful on what you're putting on applications because banks are taking that information and they kind of cross the information. So if you had a business credit application where you put, oh, I have an LLC, and then all of a sudden on another application you put, oh, I have an S corp, and then on another you put a different classification code, that's going to raise a red flag. Because the three systems you want to pay attention to are LexisNexis, Early Warning System, and SBFE for Small Business Financial Exchange. All of these systems are going to communicate to each other, even if they are communicating indirectly, because all of the information is getting pulled from the same databases. So the minute that information doesn't line up, the story you told Bank A is different from the story you told Bank B, which is different from Bank C. That's when you start getting automatic denials. You don't want that. You want to avoid that at all costs, which is why I'm giving you this information. Which leads me to my next 2 points that I'm going to bundle up together. You are applying to too many accounts too quickly, and then you are applying for too many credit lines too quickly as well. One of the biggest mistakes I often see is someone opens up a business account. Let's say you go to Bank A and you apply for a business checking account. Then all of a sudden, as soon as you leave, you decide to apply for three business credit cards with that bank. You haven't properly built up a partnership with that bank. Now, some banks you don't necessarily need a relationship with, especially if they are smaller banks or they're not very strict about you living in their geographic location. But some banks do, especially the bigger banks. They want to see some funds deposited into the account. They want to see you using the account for at least 30 days, 60 days, even 90 days. They are watching your balances, they are watching your spending habits, they are watching you not just as a consumer, but as a business owner. So when you are marking deposits and transactions, think everything I'm doing, they're looking at it. So, how can you position yourself in a way that's going to make them want to do business with you? Meaning, when you go to apply for a credit line, it's going to increase your profile odds. I typically recommend my clients have at least 3K, 5K minimum inside an account, especially if it's one of the bigger banks. Never let the account go below $500. And if the fee waiver result is $1,000, never drop below that number. Make sure the transactions running through that account are business related. The last thing you want is a Netflix charge hitting your business accounts. That looks awful. If you're in a home service business, have painting material, drywall, cleaning stuff, all of that should be running through the business account. The final point, be very careful that you're not using dated or mismatched information. Here's what it means. Let's say you recently got married. Your driver's license has your new name, but your social security number still shows your old name. The bank you're applying with still has your old name. Your personal credit report still has your old name. That can trigger an automatic denial. So before you apply, make sure one name, one address, one version of your ID on both your personal and business info. If you have multiple partners in your business, it also needs to be consistent across all entities. If you're using a registered agent or if your info is outdated, fix it. Update your license, update your passport before working it to the bank. Something as simple as senior or junior missing from a name can get you denied. So there you have it. These are the key reasons why people get denied when trying to do credit stacking. Whether it's full-blown business credit stacking or just business credit card stacking, these are the main issues we can see. And I don't want you to be one of those people. I want you to go out, fund your business, and get access to more capital. So if you found value in this video, don't forget hitting the subscribe button down below. Once again, I appreciate you guys watching me out. Until next time, everyone, it's still Pierre the Founder. Peace.